Hey guys, today I have another video, another wargaming video. I'm gonna be doing videos on. I already have two videos made. I haven't uploaded them yet because I want to do a video, like an intro video, on telling you guys what types of videos I'm gonna be making. I also mentioned it in the two videos I made, what types of videos I'll be making and what I'm getting into now. So I already do Flames of War, so already it's historical wargaming. Not so much, fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk. No 40k, no fantasy, no. Maybe in the future, but right now there's so many things in historical gaming, and there's always new things from many different companies, new games, new models. Um, there's always something new going on, and there's a lot to catch up with. If you don't keep up, and I've already started late. But here I have the Hail Caesar rulebook. I'll review this in a separate video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about the book itself, but more on what the game and how I plan to play it. I got this book in the Hail Caesar Conquest of Gaul starter set. That comes with 2 armies and the rulebook included. You don't get the, like pretty much every other company when you buy a starter set, they give you a cut down version of the rulebook, soft cover, real small, usually crappy quality that they fall apart. You gotta go get them binded, and it's so Warlord Games gives you the full rulebook when you buy their starter sets. So in Hail Caesar, if you don't know what it is, it's a historical war game from Warlord Games. So it's a British company owned by Rick Priestley. It has 4 main games for their historical range. Hail Caesar being their Ancients range. Then they have Pike and Shot, which is 16th century, 17th century, and then they have Black Powder, 18th and 19th century, and then they have Bolt Action, which is World War II. And it's extremely popular right now. It's growing more and more and more. They're always coming out with new stuff. And but what I'm gonna start with, my first one for Warlord Games, I eventually want to play all 4 of them. I'm gonna be making videos about all 4 of them, but the first series is gonna be Hail Caesar, which is what appeals to me the most. Is Ancients, Romans, Greeks, Egyptians, Persians, Numidians, Carthaginians, all that type of stuff, all that good stuff, the stuff we all liked growing up. So the Conquest of Gaul came with 2 armies. I'll be reviewing that separate as well, showing you all the components and then giving you a breakdown of each list in a separate video. As you can see here, I have some Warlord Games Factory. Warlord Games, not War Games Factory. Some Warlord Games models. These are the ones that came with the Conquest of Gaul. These are some Romans. You have the Standard Bearer with the wolf pelt. So pretty much I have 2 armies from that one box. But the beauty about Hail Caesar is that it works with any scale, from 6 to the really big ones. I forgot what in millimeter what it is, but the one that's right on top of 28 mil, where they're kind of like that tall. So it goes from 6 millimeter all the way to 25 millimeter, 28 millimeter being the most common. It's made specifically for 28 millimeter, but it can be adapted without changing any of the rules. Of course you can, but to be played with 15 mil, 25 mil, 10 mil, and 6 mil. Here I have some 10 millimeter miniatures. These are from Old Glory. These are 10 millimeter Normans, so you can use these as well in the 10 millimeter, 6 millimeter for Hail Caesar with the same rules without adapting anything. So I can play the same game with 28 millimeter Normans, or I can use my 10 millimeter Normans. It's the same game, same rules, nothing changes. But I'm going to be playing predominantly with their 28 mil because those are the models that they make, Warlord Games. They make them in 28 mil, and their models are beautiful, very good price, and they give you a lot of extra stuff in the kits usually, like shield transfers, and sometimes they give you extra bits. The beauty about this is that it's a lot cheaper to get into than compared to 40k being the most expensive in fantasy. But even there are some other games out there like War Machine, War Mahords, that are cheaper than GW because they're the most expensive. But this is even cheaper than that. I mean, even if you don't buy from Warlord Games, there's many different companies, and you can use any model. Another thing is you can base them any way you want, and you can use any model from any company. So with these same models, I can play Saga, I can play Hail Caesar, I can play Field of Glory. This is a game called War and Conquest, and many other games. That's the beauty about it. So I'm going to be doing videos on, painting videos, army lists, book reviews. I'm going to get, for the Hail Caesar, I'm going to get all the supplements, the Britannia, the Dacian book, the biblical, and the classical ones. So I'm going to be reviewing all of the Hail Caesar supplements, as well as the saga books, all of them, once I get my hands on them. But for the meantime, it's going to be mostly Hail Caesar. Pretty soon, I'm going to get a battle report in. A small battle report, like an intro game. I'm also going to be doing a how to play series on Hail Caesar. That'll be in different parts, force organization, the core mechanics, movement, command, ranged attacks, melee fighting, break tests, things like that. So I'm going to do several videos on how to play the game, as well as battle reports. I guess you could call them collection videos, or not really collection, but I'll show you the different armies that I have in separate videos. So one video for my Romans, just what I have there, and then when I start getting more things, I'll start showing you as my army develops from that certain nationality. So I'm also going to be doing the beauty about this as well is that you don't have to be limited to one army. In 40k it's so expensive, you can be years just maxing out one army. With this it's a lot cheaper, so you can I already have 3 armies with a price that it would cost to buy half of a 40k army or a fantasy army, even War Machine. So I have Romans, I have Greeks, and I have the Celts, Gauls, Gallic Celts, and I even have Vikings. The beauty about this is you could play one game that's ancients, Romans versus Greeks, Greeks versus Persians, or Egyptians versus Hittites, and then you can play a game right after or the next weekend, Dark Ages, like Battle of Hastings. You can play Normans versus Saxons, or Saxons versus Vikings, and then the next day you can play a game that's the Crusades, because Hail Caesar also includes the Crusades. So that's the beauty about this game. So this is more like an intro video, just telling you what future videos I'm going to be doing. Like I said, Hail Caesar. I already did 2 videos, which will be uploaded after this. I did a review of the Greek hoplites from War Games Factory, which are also 28mm, and the Vikings from Warlord War Games Factory. I'll be doing a separate review on the Romans from Warlord Games, the Gauls from Warlord Games, as well as any new models that I'll get. I'll do unboxing videos and reviews. Once they're painted, I will do a video on how I painted them, and I'll show you the finished product, tell you guys exactly what paints I used. And also going to be doing, well, I'd say this in the other videos I made already, but since this is an intro video I should probably include it, is how I make terrain. I made some terrain here. This is in development. Some terrain pieces here using the insulation board. So these are going to be like the bases for forests, and they could also be hills if you stack them on top. I'm going to show you guys how I did that in other videos. Another cool video which I don't think I've seen is using masking tape to do freehand on shields, to do shield designs, especially the Viking, Saxon, pretty much anything the Dark Ages, most shields, with linear patterns on them and angles and stuff. It's real difficult to do straight lines when you're doing like many things on the shield freehand, so I'm going to show you guys how I use the masking tape to do that. So yeah, a whole bunch of videos on that. Mostly, for the most part, is going to be Warlord games, because there's so much stuff and there's so many things to delve into. Any period pretty much for historical. And the beauty about it is that you can use any model, any scale. You can use the smallest being 6 to more than 28. So anything in between. So if you buy the rulebook, you might even have the models for it. You can use if you do have GW models, if you have fantasy models, you can use them. Like Bretonians, Imperial. You can use Bretonians that look just like Dark Age warriors, medieval, so you can use those. That's what I'm doing for Saga. I use the Bretonian archers, and for this too. So if you have any special requests you guys want me to see, or any questions, let me know. Any certain type of video ideas you guys might have, or something you want reviewed or unboxed, or any type of videos about the rules of Hail Caesar, or certain pretty much anything. If you have any ideas for army lists and you want my opinion or something like that, But pretty soon after this, I'm gonna do a review on probably the Conquest of Gaul, and then real soon I'll have a battle report, because there's a handful of battle reports on Hail Caesar, and quite frankly they're extremely boring. It's just a slideshow of pictures and a guy in the background saying what happened in an extremely boring monotone voice, and they're like 6 minutes long, so it's actually aggravating to watch, but I watch it just because that's the only thing there is on Hail Caesar. There aren't enough videos. So I'm going to include dice rolls on the camera. I'm going to include actual live action, and it's not going to be pictures, it's going to be video. So zoom in on the models, give you a layout of the battlefield, do like a panning shot of the battlefield, show you guys as the battle develops, any die rolls, when the units clash, any ranged attacks I do, or flanking maneuvers, anything like that, break tests. It's going to be live action, more like the typical Flames of War videos you guys see. It's just, I really don't like battle reports with pictures. I think it's pointless, it's a waste. I don't want to look at pictures. Why would I look at pictures? Why would you use YouTube to post a video about pictures? You guys might complain, but I really don't see the what's good about it. I want to see a video, live action, whatever. Anyway, so battle reports, and I also ordered the Roman starter army. I'm going to be reviewing that. And so yeah, so it's just an intro video. Next I'll probably do the Conquest of Gaul, and I'll review the book itself. It's already been reviewed, but again, it's a few minutes long, the video I've seen on YouTube, and it doesn't go into detail at all. They do this, or they might stop and show you like 2 pages, which is worthless to me. I want to see, maybe, a quick, pretty much show you most of the pictures in the book, give you the different sections of the book, tell you what I think of it, the quality, just go into more detail about the book itself, and also when I do my reviews and unboxings. I don't want a 5-minute video that's just quick. For that, I just go read something, or I just read the description that the company itself has. There's no point in seeing a 5-minute video. So historical wargaming, mostly Warlord games, Hail Caesar, Pike and Shot, Bolt Action, Black Powder. As soon as I get my hands on those things, I'll be doing more videos. I'm going to be doing videos on Saga as well, battle reports on Saga. Again, live action video, not just pictures, and the monotone voice in the background. Saga, Hail Caesar, battle reports, and all those other games I told you of Warlord. I subscribe to War Games Illustrated, the awesome magazine that's owned by Battlefront, guys who make Flames of War, and own Gale Force 9. So as I start getting the issues, I'm going to do like discussion-based videos, kind of like a review for, let's say, the September issue of War Games Illustrated. I'll flip through the pages, I'll show you some of the cool stuff, some of the components, some of the things sometimes they come with special things, like a prototype or beta of a game that's going to come out. And we'll discuss, future things that are coming out. So War Games Illustrated as well. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to be doing videos on terrain, just a whole bunch of things, videos on army lists. Can have like a discussion. I'll put like a Roman, for example, I'd put like a Roman, 1st century BC Roman army list, and then I'll tell you the models that I have at my disposal, my idea of kind of like a force that I want, how I plan to use it, and then you guys in the comments could tell me what would you change, if my ideas have merit or not, or dispute certain thing, give me some advice, or anything like that. I'll also be doing the same type of video, for my Greeks, for my Celts, any future armies that I get, and many unboxing videos. I'm also going to unbox and review the Samurai from War Games Factory, which I tell you in my other videos, the Roman starter army that I ordered, and I also plan on getting Numidians, and pretty much anything I get, unboxing videos. So it's just an intro, because I didn't want to upload the videos I already made without giving you an intro. So, it'd be weird, it would kind of catch you guys off guard, because I usually do my cigar reviews, some of the fragrance reviews, supplement reviews, and kind of bounce back and forth, but that's good, because then I have a bigger audience, and you can please more people. But if you're just a one-trick pony, do one type of video, it's better to have a bigger audience and get more things covered and the things that you like. So for example, maybe before I smoke a cigar, I'd like to watch a video about it, or before I buy a book, I throw down $50, $60, maybe $100 for a box of miniatures, I'd like to maybe see the component breakdown so I don't waste my money, or or just to see. It's cool, to be able to preview things before you buy, before you invest. And so that's why I'm doing these videos for the most part. It wasn't there for me, so I'm going to do it for you guys. I'm reviewing first. My priority is to review things that have not been reviewed, unbox things that have not been unboxed yet. So the 2 videos I already have stored that I'm going to be uploading have not been reviewed yet. The Hoplites from War Games Factory and the Vikings from War Games Factory, they have not been reviewed yet, so I'll be the first. So I'm going to try to fill the gap, you know, all the missing pieces that are, you know, for historical gaming. Also the Samurai haven't been reviewed, so my priority also for Flames of War is to review things that haven't been reviewed yet. So there's a resource, something for you guys to have at your disposal, you know, a preview. And then I'll start doing videos on things that they're already uploaded the way I wanted, I thought it should have been. So, you know, if there's a review of a product that's already there and I don't like how they did it, I'm going to redo it my way. Like, let's say it's a 2-minute video, or it's very bad quality picture. All my videos are 1080p. You know, I have good lighting here, I have 3 light sources here, I have a full HD camera, I have a tripod, so nice setup here. So let's say someone reviewed something already, but it's 240p and it has terrible sound and it's 2 minutes long and they don't show you anything, so I'm going to redo it. I'm going to like revise that video and redo it and include more things and have it better quality. So from now, you know, all my videos are full 1080p. And yeah, so if you have any video ideas, anything you want to see that hasn't been done, let me know. And also my battle reports, I'm going to try to do, like, show you each force. Not just tell you, oh, Romans versus Celts. No, I'm going to tell you have Romans, break down the divisions, the individual units, the commanders, my deployment, what my thoughts were in the deployment, things like that. And the strategies that I have. Alright guys, till next time. Yeah, that's about it. If there's any type of rule set or miniatures company that I don't know, or you haven't seen that I mentioned, maybe I don't know, maybe let me know about it. You know, I didn't know about War Games Factory until I started looking, but I'm sure there's other companies for miniatures and maybe even other rule sets. This is just, I got this because it's readily available, and it probably has a bigger base of players worldwide. But if there's another rule set that you prefer or that you know, let me know so I can check it out and maybe review it, put a video out on it. Alright guys, till next time.